One year dies, and another year is reborn. You may be thinking to yourself, why on earth is Nick Dutch wearing his Santa hat now? It's January. Well, quite simply because the Christmas festival is longer than just Christmas Day. It's approximately like a 37-day festival. If you think about it, you've got all the days of Advent, then you've got your 12 days of Christmas, okay? And the 12 days don't end until the 6th of January. So today, when I'm recording this, it's currently the 3rd of January, so we're still within the Christmas festival. So what I thought I'd do is this tarot show, of course, on this one particular YouTube channel, I do tarot readings, okay? So you can make your request for a reading to be added to the rota through sending an email to nickdutchtarot@gmail.com. And that's all you need to do, really. Include your first name, your date of birth, and the basic outline of the inquiry, and I will be more than happy to help. Okay, so still within the festive spirit, I'm going to nip straight onto the computer and start answering some inquiries. Here we go. Okay, Zalakazar is inquiring about work and relationship issues. Firstly, on the work side of things, let's see if there's some new opportunity coming through for you. Let's just give the cards a nice and thorough shuffle and make sure everything's going according to plan in that direction. And then we'll see what the wonders the Mystic Tarot is going to provide for you today. Here we go. Right. Yeah, we do have signs relating to travel. There's a bit of a feeling of there being, like, those two opportunities you spoke of in your email, you may be offered both of them. So essentially choose wisely. But essentially one of those is going to be, rather good. Whichever one you choose, you're going to be able to make of it something good. It's like with some things in life, it depends upon you to try and make of what you're given something which is good. So yes, travel, yes, work, not a problem. Now on the relationship side of things, just a very quick spread there for you. I'm going to go on to the 8-card relationship reading and see what we've got there. Okay. Okay, you got an interesting spread there all told. I'll give you a quick look at the cards and see what we can see from there, okay? Right, so forces between the two of you, victory, communication, things moving up, stepping up a gear, definite loyalty, alright? So this is someone who cares for you and wants to carry on being with you and wants to carry on building things up. Energy on their side of things, a bit of fear, they can be a bit defensive, but also a sense of trying to get the right balance in place so that you can get basically what you want, alright? On your side of things, willingness, also trying to make sure trust is in place, but there's a strong sense of there being existing forces. Now, the other aspects of the 8-card relationship reading, short term, mid term, and long term. Not bad cards. A little bit of a winding road, okay? You're going to have high points and low points, but it still looks quite good. Control and power and control seems to be a bit of an issue there. So work out what ways in which you're in charge of the relationship and what ways they're in charge of the relationship, and try and find a middle ground, okay? Alright, on to the next inquiry. Okay, Ryan, big relationship inquiry. You've been talking on the phone with this person for a long period of time. You want to make sure things are steadily moving in the right direction. Okay. But your main concern is something or someone going to get in the way? Well, let's just have a quick looky-see and see what we can see when we see and we can look and looky-see type of thingy-bobs. Anyway, here we go. Oh, I'm losing the plot, I'm telling you. Alright, 8-card relationship reading. Okay, we got signs in the force between the two of you there with the Death card. Okay, but essentially that's not, in this particular case, a negative, because it does speak about the old message of the butterfly coming out of the chrysalis. It's not talking about destruction, it's actually talking about improvement in this particular case. So that's what is meant by change. So essentially your whole relationship energy will be a different animal and a better animal. If you think about it this way, on their side of things, that's the way around we got it today, okay? On their side of things, miraculous desire to make it work, very strong signs of love, really from the heart area, okay? On your side of things, strong desire to carry on feeling connected, that's essentially what the High Priestess is talking about, as well as a craving for victory. That's your here and now situation, so essentially, again, very positive. No real signs of anything getting in the way. Now, it could be that something will happen, which might even put a strain on the relationship, but that can help to turn things around and make it more positive as you progress further forward into the future. Here we go. Here we go. Short term, mid term, long term, just 3 cards. Boom. That's what we got for you. I haven't seen it. You've seen it. All right. You're the first people to see these, not me. Ooh. Okay, so essentially we've got change coming up twice. You've got the Two of Coins coming up. Mentioned that in previous tarot shows. Okay, that's in your mid-term future. So it's going to be a process. All right. You're going to carry on doing well. Maybe one challenge, making things feel a bit rocky, but a dramatic improvement after that. Another challenge, but making things even better. But you're also dealing with a slow progressing individual. So you need to carry on doing what you're doing, but hold a few more serious conversations as well, and then essentially the progression will start to occur. That's basically what I've got there for you. I don't see it as being someone else getting in the way and destroying everything. I'm seeing it as challenges which are not only overcome, but are actually ammunition to make the relationship stronger. Okay, I've had someone who's made an inquiry saying that they're a reader themselves, but they asked the tarot where they would meet their true love. And they drew the Emperor card and they wanted to know what that meant. Very curious that, because the Emperor is a sign of power and strength and determination. In your inquiry you actually picked up on that and said, could this be a police officer? But essentially, if you're asking where you're going to meet them, it would make much more sense that the place in question may have some kind of connection to power or authority in one form or another. Possibly an ancient ruined castle, okay, or maybe some administrative offices where some big decisions occur. That would make a lot of sense too. So the place can still have a resonation with the meaning of the card itself. So that's something else for you to add to your practice, okay? Okay, Radka is asking about doing some courses, actually starting some courses, possibly creating them, about work on the mind and helping people with their self-development. Very interesting. Alright, so let's have a quick look and see how that would go. Obviously totally randomly shuffled, very thoroughly randomly shuffled tarot deck today, okay? Doing it again and again and again, and as I look down on it, if I think that there's a bit which has been missed, as often happens with an old pack of cards that's being used by, you know, a middle-aged fortune teller like myself, alright? Then I'm just going over it again and again and again to doubly make sure and trebly make sure that everything is totally random, and of course to put an extra little twist in it as well, okay? Let's have a quick look. Okay. Absolutely fascinating. We got some great signs associated with this reading today. Alright, let me show you what I've got here. The most important ones are here. Okay, they are the most important ones because we can tell because of the positioning they came out. We can tell because of the quantity and quality of vibrancy of the colour and how I received it. The more interesting and challenging ones are here. But essentially a sense of financial abundance coming your way and a sense of pleasure, and also giving other people something which is also rather abundant to them. Something which is going to stimulate them on their journey of life and give them more in the way of ability to understand and to enjoy life. So you're, for want of a better word, giving them fulfillment. Alright, helping them to get over something, move themselves away from some kind of emotional negativity or depression. But there is a fly in the ointment, okay, a fly in the ointment, and that is that there will be a few minor issues that you are powerless over when trying to incorporate this and make it work for you and make it work well. And also you have to plan like crazy, prepare like crazy, and think in a very business-like, practical, pragmatic manner in order to bring this out into the outer world. So I would see this as being something which you could do, you should do, and is good for other people, because you're going to learn things and you're going to incorporate them into your practices, which is then going to help other people, okay? And also doing so with love and the right intentions. Now, there were 2 other cards that were also drawn, but these essentially are speaking, as far as I can tell from the reading, about your fears. Just your fears, and we don't allow our fears to dominate us when we're doing something of a really positive nature for other people, do we now? Okay? So yes, there's the fear of failure and the fear of change being brought about by things outside of your control. There are some things outside of your control, yes, but essentially look to the positive and make sure you do the best with what you can do. I think you're onto a winner personally. But essentially, as with all things in the world, there can be some issues, but I don't sense total negativity here. I think it's going to be quite swell. You're going to enjoy it. Okay, we have someone called Angela who wants to focus on both romantic love and spiritual enlightenment. We all need a bit of both of that, don't we? Okay, so essentially let's have a quick look at the reading, see what the reading says, and then we'll take it one step at a time, basically speaking, okay? Now your question says basically what you need to focus in on at the moment, really. Let's see what the reading says. Now I know you're a reader yourself, and I know that you're concerned that you might be basically lying to yourself, alright? We all do that. When I first started doing tarot, I was a right one for lying to myself when I was doing a reading for myself. Every time I did a reading for myself, it always says, Nick, you're the most handsome person in the whole wide world. All the girls love you. Basically, you're going to become a multi-millionaire by next Thursday. Well, I don't know about the first one and the second one, but definitely the third one didn't come true. So, you've always got to get a second voice. Always got to make sure you're checking yourself and making sure everything works out according to plan that way. This is your spread. Here we go. Right, from the outset, okay, do we have that many spiritual signs here? We got one or two, namely principally this one here, which in this particular deck is called the Eon. I always associate that with being aware of a larger reality which is outside of the normal, and being aware of it, being able to integrate with it. But on the other hand, that's only one card out of an entire spectrum here, and a lot of the energy that we've got is much more base. Okay, for instance, we got the inverted pentagram of swords there, the 5 of swords making the inverted pentagram shape. And we've also got the ace of discs. The ace of discs is speaking about look to things which are familiar to you. Familiarity, stability, consistency, the material, and looking after yourself. Because that's a very important thing which you need to do right now in your life. So that's essential. And if you focus too much on the spiritual, basically you may end up with basically a bit of literal defeat there, okay? But still, work your spirituality and take it one step at a time, because these things can't be rushed. When I tried to start building myself up spiritually, okay, when I started trying to explore the experiences, either they went too fast or they went too slowly. Sometimes it almost seemed like there was the invisible hand of something else saying, slow down, alright? And there was even a period of time when all my experiences stopped before they could start up again, when my mind had sort of got a bit clearer. You can't be too obsessive about this, okay? So if you put too much pressure on yourself, that won't help you at all. But on the romantic side of things, yes, we have a sense of there being victory there. We have a sense of that will happen when you're more in balance and in control, as this card over here says, basically. So I get the impression that you're a bit eager. And of course, being eager can be okay, but I think that you put a bit too much pressure on yourself to become spiritual, rather than necessarily to focus in on people and the human condition as well, which is basically part of the expanding spirituality anyway. So one step at a time, alright? Lasma. Okay, you're curious about everything, basically, aren't you? There was a relationship question, there was a career question, you're doing this, that and the other, you're a creative thinker, but also, you want to be in all kinds of different fields. Oh dear, it's very difficult for you right now, isn't it? Okay, so let's try and give you some perspective and clarity, and try and bring you further forward, shall we? Here we go. Just bear with me a second. Right. Okay, you need to focus in on things that provide for you on a continual basis. You'll need to focus in on things which are very strongly geared towards physical survival, material survival, protecting yourself and looking after yourself. But essentially, you can get distracted. That's where your creative mind sort of kicks in and starts taking you down all kinds of little alleyways of thoughts. So don't allow that to happen, and just focus in on the stable side. The creative side of things looks like it's going to become a business to me, okay? You're going to be able to be creative in a manner which is going to help you out financially as well. So essentially that's still another one step at a time thing. But also that's a part-time thing. It's not a regular here and now, got to get it done type of situation. So that's the way I'm reading it for you today, basically speaking. It feels to me as though you've got a lot of good potential on both sides of things, both the work and the romantic side of things. But let's just try and focus in much more on the relationship side and see what we get there, okay? Brilliant. Okay, absolutely brilliant. This is something which I would not expect to have come out, okay? It's very rare, very unusual, but also very beautiful, alright? Because we get the Lovers card and the Two of Cups together. Now, the Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups, they're the traditional ones that you associate with like being in a relationship and having that sense of, continuity. Some people say, oh, the Lover's card, that must be the one. Well, the Lover's card speaks about responsibility, because it's that moment when you're suddenly moving further forward, taking something seriously, and taking all the risks and all the rest of it, and being totally committed to everything that way, okay? But essentially a stable relationship in which you've taken the risk, but you're going to get what you need and what you want and what you deserve. That's what I'm seeing for you there. So that's for this part of the year, okay? January, February, March, that's that kind of time frame. You're basically going to start to see progress on both sides of things. So essentially it's looking quite good. Okay, pour ce sapicus, you're inquiring about your job changing, whether that will happen next year. Well, let's just have a quick look and see basically what's coming on through for you, shall we? Right, here we go. Right. Oh yes, there's a sense of some kind of movement, but it's a movement geared towards fun and enjoying yourself. So this is quite a happy aspect of the reading itself. It's coming out very strongly with the Wheel of Fortune there, okay? One of my favourite tarot cards, actually, funnily enough, because it always has that kind of fairground atmosphere to it, but it also has a more complex spiritual message of that of things turning around. So an aspect of your career is going to start turning around, almost as if you're going to go back to the beginning of the wheel and start all over again. But don't think, oh no, I've got to go through that all over again, because you built yourself up to a higher level already, okay? A level in which there's a lot of peace and tranquility, and in which you can actually start caring for other people through giving them the extra wisdom that you yourself have got. So be aware there's some good stuff around the corner here. Okay, Sumir is interested in their love life. Let's have a quick look and see what's coming through here. Bear with me a second, please. Alright, here we go. Alright, very strong signs of passion, but passion to overcome strife and struggle and a few difficulties on the way. You're dealing with someone who appears to be a little negative. There's a feeling of emotional negativeness about them. Defensiveness, I often say defensiveness, but is it really defensiveness? You know, you've got to look deeper into their character. This appears to be someone who has some kind of presence in your life. They've been through some suffering. They're now in a position of greater clarity. There's a good sense of happiness developing around them, and a time of celebration between yourself and that person as you move further forward into the future with them, okay? This is someone on the peripherals of your life steadily moving towards a position of greater stability and a feeling of more happiness associated with that. So essentially I'm seeing you two together as a couple. We got the male and the female court cards together. We got the signs relating to joy and happiness, okay, but the progression is over time, keeping the passion together, overcoming difficulties, and steadily bringing yourself to a point of reaching real clarity, which is essentially what the second half of the reading was talking about there. So you've got a love life in the future. It doesn't look too bad, and I feel very optimistic about it. Okay, Patricia's gone through a strange situation with someone. She's gone through a situation of a connection. It's sort of like not stopped working, then it started working all over again kind of thing. And there was a lot of pain, a lot of heartache and all the rest of that. So let's just have a quick look and see what the reading says. Standard 8 card relationship reading methodology. Here we go. Right. Okay, well the force between the two of you, yes, there's a lot of pain there still. Okay, the lightning struck tower in this particular case is talking about your world being turned upside down. Okay, very difficult signs to deal with emotionally, but on the other hand it's also the recreation of a beautiful city. Alright, the lightning struck tower, also called the house of God. It speaks of something divine entering in here, striking you in the mind, giving you greater clarity. So it's not always a bad sign, but it is a difficult sign, and the pain is the pain is a birth pain. Alright, the pain is a birth pain, because something bigger associated with the same connection is about to emerge. Alright, now let's have a look at the signs here, alright. Force between the two of you at the moment, there we go, the Charioteer, that's speaking about there being some kind of challenges going on. Their signs, here you go. You're dealing with someone who's going through healing, wants to try and be totally forgiving, okay? And also has a sense of satisfaction when they're dealing with you, okay? Now on your side of things, you've got all the passion going there, okay? Nice strong reds and orange colours, alright? Very strong. Oh yeah, you know, we're talking about heart chakra, we're talking about, you know, your red chakra down there. I'm not going to, you know the one I mean, alright? But essentially it's all very confused, it's all very bubbling away, and you're going through a period of like healing and awakening associated with this one particular person. Now, short-term, mid-term, long-term, future. I have expanded the nature of this reading, so expand the reading a bit further. Here we go. Okay, you're dealing with someone who will need some caution, need some distance once in a while, but you need to carry on talking to them even though there's distance there. That's something some people struggle to understand. You can maintain distance with someone even though you're talking to them every day. It depends upon how you do it, what you say, not what you know what I mean. But essentially this is leading to more happiness, more joy, more satisfaction, more celebration further on down the line. Good feeling of satisfaction predominantly developing. Alright? What you need is someone who fits you. What you need is something that fits you. And that's what you got for your longer term future. That's what I'm seeing there. Right, those are all of the readings I'm doing for you today. I'm still frequently open for you to just bombard my email inbox with any requests for readings that you want to see here on the Tarot Show. The email address is nickdutchtarot@gmail.com. And I just say it again. What the hell? It sounds beautiful. nickdutchtarot@gmail.com. What the heck? For legal reasons, I have to point out that tarot readings, psychic readings, clairvoyant readings, mediumship readings, and all the rest of that are billed as an entertainment service for good common sense reasons. You are the final decision maker in your life, not me, not anybody else out there, no religious leader, no nothing, alright? So be aware of that. But the tarot can be a great way of getting another point of view, and that's basically its strength, including of course all the centuries worth of wisdom which has gone into it. Alright, so send me through an email and I'll be happy to include you into the rota. If you need me again, alright, all my links are down there, and you can also catch me on kooma.co.uk, pin number 2483. 2483 on kooma.co.uk. Alright. Of course, my links are down there for keen.com, LivePerson, and a few other things you might want to buy from me as well, because, hey, you know I'm amazing. Speak to you in a while. God bless.